So I'm gonna name you three countries, and I want you to rank the order of their cuisine.
Ah,
All
okay,
right.
okay, okay.
I'm gonna throw out there Mexico. I'm gonna
All
throw
right.
Italy out there, and I'm gonna throw China out
Mm,
there.
mm. All right. So one I can speak closely to more than the other two. I only say this
How?
because
Because you were actually close to the
close. I was
homeland,
pretty much, yeah, I was pretty
motherland.
much on the border of Mexico for several years, down there in El Paso, Texas. Where I can get authentic Mexican food, and that's what makes it kind of hard to rate. Is because if you haven't necessarily lived in the country or near the region, you don't get the authentic version of the food. You kind of get an Americanized version of the food, right?
That's the conversation I want to have with you, man. I don't want you
Mm.
judging it off of abuela cooking you a dish. I want to know what something we all can enjoy.
Okay, okay. I mean, but that would kind of be a little biased thing because it's not like because I haven't had too much Mexican food outside of when I left El Paso. You know, I might have had it once since I've been out of that region and haven't really had it again
Hmm.
because it just didn't hit the same. So it's like, it's not real Mexican food. I'm like, I don't want that. I think we went one spot one time and had Mexican food. Other than that, like it didn't feel right. You know,
So
after
answer
having
the
a real
question
dish.
based off of who you were prior to going to your time in El Paso,
Okay,
because I'm
okay,
sure you had a lot of Mexican food in your lifetime before that. So
okay. Well, I'm gonna say this. So much love to Italy, but I'm not a big pasta person. I don't do a lot
okay,
of pastas. Um, there are some pasta dishes that I do like, but if I had to choose, like if you had one cuisine versus pasta, and say, and not saying Italy's all pasta, but that's what they're really known for.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot of their pasta.
heavy, yeah.
Um, so that would have to rank probably last on my list. And much love to Italy. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
definitely want to travel there at some point, but Italy's probably gonna fall to the bottom automatically, number three.
Even with having a banger like pizza on their list, I mean, you can put pizza up
But
against anybody's
in
top dish.
true,
Like,
right. And maybe that's might where we have to, I guess, give them some heavy points. It's like having a team, and you got a team of scrubs, but then you got Michael Jordan on the team who can get you 50. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they
You
got
got
pizza,
somebody
bro.
who
I'll
gets you
take pizza
50.
over a taco any day. Like, and the tacos a
But
banger too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
true. And that's one thing that might help them edge out is the fact that hey, you got somebody who can put up 50 on in that cuisine region
in any game,
versus
man.
tacos and enchiladas and whatnot. And tacos and enchiladas are great, but then I've also had some great tacos and great enchiladas. So man, it's gonna be kind of tough. And then Chinese food, man, nothing wrong with a good Chinese dish, man. Sometimes they just hit right. Sometimes that's what you
Yeah,
need, you know. Like,
most definitely.
and I say I've probably had more cravings for Chinese food than the other two. That just
Right,
one day, like,
right.
man, I want to go get some Chinese food. Man, I want some really good Chinese food. So Chinese food is probably gonna have to. I'm gonna put Chinese food number one, only because I say this. I can say universally, consistently that I would lean towards going to get grabbing some Chinese food before I grab any of the other two.
Okay.
So more consistent days and nights. If I had to say, what do I want? You want to get some Chinese food? You want to go get some tacos? You want to go get some Chinese food or some Mexican food? I'm probably gonna say, hey,
Okay.
let's go grab some General Soul's.
Okay. So is there a degree of bias to that because you spent time in Asia? Now, given it was not China, you spent your time in Japan
Yeah,
and their
I was gonna have to
cuisines are
say
different,
it's completely
but at the
different.
same
Completely different.
time, they have some similarities, more so than Korean or some of the other
Hmm.
ones, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But
yeah.
it's different, but there's some similarities.
And I would say no biases to that because only because to
Okay.
me it was a lot different. Like Japanese food or the food I would get in Okinawa is not the kind of food that you would find in a Chinese restaurant, especially an American Chinese food restaurant.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right, right, right.
completely
I
completely
like
different.
I like Japanese. You think completely?
Completely different. Yeah. Completely different. I don't find. I mean, other than like maybe some noodles and stuff like that, like the noodles and rice, of course, like the base of every meal, they're gonna have noodles and rice. That's with any Asian cuisine.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna have
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But then it's just the way they cook the food. It's different to me. I see the differences.
I think I see the difference also. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna sound like somebody. I'm pissing somebody off because I sound like
yeah, like
uneducated on it.
some
But
lo mein versus
I
some
get it.
yakisoba. It's totally different. Lo mein
It's
yakisoba,
different,
not the same.
but it's not as different as like I said a Korean barbecue or
Hmm.
Thai food. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like
right.
I
Thai
think
food,
they're
yeah, Thai food is
closer to the
different. Yeah.
same vein
Hmm.
than those other ones or Vietnamese food. That's way different from Chinese and Japanese. I
Yeah,
think
like
that
pho. I can't do
Chinese and
pho.
Japanese,
I've tried. Yeah, I've tried pho and I can't do it.
yeah, those are really far off from one another. I think
Hmm.
Chinese and Japanese are closer to the same vein, but obvious differences. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mistake what I'm saying. Obvious difference. They're totally different, but they're closer. You know what I'm saying? I could interchange those two and be cool, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was craving Chinese and couldn't get it but had to get Japanese, I think I could fulfill my cravings
Right, right.
in a sense.
But yeah,
But
but you
if you
kind of threw
took
me
me to
for
go get some pho, I'd be like, nah, I still want Chinese food. Like afterwards.
yeah. I'm gonna still be hungry, right? But you kind of threw me for a loop on the aspect of thinking about a particular cuisine within that uh genre or region of food. So if you had to
Yeah.
have each one of those places and their heavy hitter
Yeah.
go head to head over the whole totality of it, that list might shuffle. So now we're
So
talking
if you
about
saying you take the best pizza spot you can find and put it up
the
against
best
the
pizza
best
spot
Chinese food, you would
or
be
the
like,
best
ugh, Italy
or the
might
best
come out of
fish
third spot.
tacos. They might come up. They might be number one. Or some
Okay.
fish tacos. It's sometimes while I'm really craving some fish tacos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or give me that. You know what I'm saying? But I think if you say the heavy hitters versus heavy hitters, I would probably shuffle it a little bit and go Italy, Chinese, Italian. I mean,
Italy, Chinese,
I'm messing. I'm sorry.
Mexican is what you mean.
Yeah, Mexican. Yeah, we got to edit that in the in the show.
No, it's staying this week.
It's
I
saying
ain't got time to edit. so with that being said, okay, so your list is Chinese, Mexican, and then Italian. But if we go
Italian. If we're
heavy
talking
hitters,
about
you
broad
say,
spectrum, give
yeah.
me
But if we talking
Italy,
heavy hitters, your list was what?
give me Italy, then give me Chinese, and then Mexican.
Chinese then Mexican.
If we're just talking,
Okay.
if we're talking one on one heavy hitters.
Yeah. Okay. So if we going one-on-one heavy hitters, that's my order also. And if we're not talking heavy hitters, I'm gonna go Chinese, Italy, and then I'm gonna go Mexican. Either way,
Mexican's last.
Mexican's in third place for me. Yeah,
Okay,
but if we
okay.
go heavy hitters, you can flip flop and go China. China and Italy will flip flop for me with heavy hitters.
Yeah, man, it's just hard to say though for me, man, because like with the Mexican, and you say go before you went to, what I'm saying, El Paso, and then think back, like I'm already skewed. I'm already skewed. I've had too many nights where I had some great Mexican food that just laid me back, and I'm like, itis, man, I'm good.
Yeah,
Felt like soul food to me at that point.
I get it. I get it. But look, man, you can't go wrong with any three of these though.
You
They
can't, you can't, you
top
can't.
notch
You gonna find
food. You
something
know what
here,
I'm saying? Like,
right?
yeah, yeah. There's some heavy hitters, man. Those are the countries I kind of think, outside of what we personally love, our own soul food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Outside of that, if I had to go to one something else, it'd be one of those three. And those is
Hmm.
hard to compete with, man. Hard to
Right.
compete
You
with,
know
man.
what?
They
You know what
all
I've
did their
always
thing culturally with food.
right.